Now boarding Solo Flight with Nicole Anderson. Hey guys, welcome back to the pod. Today is a very insightful episode. A lot of you guys have been asking for some public speaking tips, and I figured who would be the best person to ask than one household name in the showbiz and hosting industry. As you can see from the title, we're talking with Bianca Gonzalez Intal, and it's really an honor to be able to have this conversation with her. We talk a lot about not just hosting, but we get a little bit personal about our past relationships, and she shares some of the things that she had to do for love, some Mahalin mo ako moments. She also shares about her love for solo traveling and solo flying, and if that is something you guys are interested in doing, maybe this episode is for you, or if you have to speak in public for any situation, if it's for work or school, or if it's a career that you're trying to pursue, this might be an interesting episode for you. We cover a lot of topics in this episode, so I won't keep blabbing any longer. Here is my episode with Bianca.
Hey guys, welcome back to the pod. I am so nervous because we have with us, as you can see in the title and in the video, Bianca Gonzalez Intal. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes!
Okay. Hi B, how are
Hi!
you?
Finally, this happened!
I know, guys. Okay, so for those of you who are new here or if you've been living under a rock, Bianca is one of, or I'll just say B para casual. No, Bianca is actually one of like the top hosts, if not the, in the country.
Of
like
course not. Okay.
iconic. No, you have your hosting credentials. Put us to shame.
Grabe naman! Hindi! Sobra ka naman.
Well, no. Okay, pero kasi, and I tell you this every time, di ba?
Yes,
When I'm
yes.
hosting events, pag nandun si Bianca, iba yung kailangan kong galingan. Alam mo yung ganon?
Over naman. And I always tell you din na ang galing-galing talaga ni Nicole.
Na.
Puera hechos, not just because this is your pod. And by the way, congratulations!
Thank you!
On finally having a podcast. Ikaw talaga yung parang when people hear that you have a pod, everyone's like, finally. Kasi ikaw yung perfect talaga na mag-podcast.
Wow naman. Galing sa'yo. Girl,
Yeah.
i-clip ko yun. For life.
For the real.
Uh-oh.
That is for the real trailer.
Wait, do you have someone who, kasi for me, that's you.
Ay,
Do you have
grabe
someone
naman.
who you feel that way towards? Like, you get nervous when they're in the crowd? Or mas nape-pressure ka?
Madami. I get pressured when Boy Abunda is in the crowd.
Yun din.
Oo.
Yeah.
I get pressured when Karen Davila is in the crowd.
Yes.
Or any of my ABS bosses. Syempre nakaka-pressure.
Syempre,
pag
kasi
nandun
baka
sila.
kailangan na renewals.
Oo. Tsaka baka wala ng next kung hindi galingan.
Tama.
But, yeah, I mean, it's a healthy pressure, I feel. Tsaka madami pa. Pag may mga VIP, ganon. I still get kabado.
So, do you have any, like, so a lot of people actually, I'm sure you get this also, a lot of people reach out to me for public speaking advice.
Really?
And I'm sure ikaw din.
Yes.
So, did you have any certain tips that were, I'm sure, imparted to you by, because I know you worked with Tito Boy for a while, right? Or like some
Until
of the...
now.
Correct.
Siya yung first manager ko and until now. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. Kaya
First and
nakaka-pressure.
only, yes.
Oo. So, hindi mo talaga siya pwedeng ibigo.
Hindi, at saka parang when I was starting, and then ang kabatch ko was Drew Arellano, Mariel Padilla,
Yes.
then Margaret Rodriguez, and then Tony Gonzaga was like a year or two before we started. Parang hindi pa uso nun na hosting ka lang. Although Tony did everything, but hindi pa uso nun na host lang.
Kailangan kumakanta ka rin.
Yes,
kailangan dancer.
sa ASAP, sing and dance ka din. Kailangan magte-teleserye ka din, ganon. So, we were the first batch. Aside from Ryan Agoncillo, probably he was the one who didn't do that also. Although nag-give in din siya later on. But, yeah, so, kaya din may pressure. Kasi parang, pwede ba yun? Parang host lang ako.
Exactly.
Hindi ko ginagawa lahat ng artista things.
That was another thing, I think, because growing up, I mean, a lot of people know I was also in the industry and there was that expectation nga na dapat kumanta ka rin. Kailangan umaarte ka rin. 'Di ba? Kailangan may...
Sasayaw ka din.
Oo, sasayaw ka rin. Hindi lang pwedeng host kasi wala ngang ganun dati.
Yeah.
But then, nung nakita ko na sinimulan nyo na, okay, host lang sila, sabi ko, pwede naman pala. 'Di ba? So, when you were doing that or like when you work with Tito Boy, does he give you any specific advice or tips na parang when you're hosting, you should always do this?
One advice na lagi binibigay ni Tito Boy to a lot of people, but ito binigay niya early on in my career na has stuck to me ever since. Super simple lang siya. Sabi niya, to be interesting, you have to be interested. And I guess that's in the context of being an interviewer.
Yeah.
Ganyan. So, I've always taken that to heart kasi siya yung si Tito Boy, yung isang tao na parang kapag may ini-interview siya, kahit I'm so uninterested or dead man lang ako dun sa guest niya, dahil sobra siyang interesado dun sa kausap niya, it makes me feel na parang, oh nga, anong sagot niya dun? Parang ganon. So, that was something I aspired to have din.
Okay, so umamin na tayo.
Yes.
But no name dropping.
Oh,
no
ano yun?
no names.
Ano yun?
I'm sure may na-interview ka na hindi ka interested. Wala kang pake. Hindi ka interested.
Me?
You don't have to say who, but in that situation, paano mo tinatawid as a host?
Alam mo,
Don't
oddly,
lie.
no! Hindi. Alam mo, honestly, wala. Only because I also started as a nobody na parang kailangan ko mag-guest somewhere. So, I know the feeling na parang nagsisimula ka pa lang, jahe ka pa kasi feeling mo parang, oh my gosh, bakit ako ini-interview?
Oh.
So, when I took the interviewer's chair na, kasi my first hosting job noon was not interview eh. It was like on cam, talking, spills.
Yun nga.
Hindi interview agad. So, finally na ako yun na doon, naiintindihan ko yung feeling kasi na parang jahe sila kasi sino ba naman sila para interviewin? Parang ganon.
Mas
I
may
was
malasakit
there.
ka for them.
Parang ganyan, mas may empathy. So, ang baduy ng sagot, but parang wala.
Okay.
And ma-research talaga ako.
Yes.
So, there's always something naman to hook onto. And last, I guess, no one was not interesting at the start of my career. Kasi if you remember, many years ago, pag mag-guest ka sa isang show, issue, chismis.
Laging may issue
Laging
sila.
may anchor issue. Ngayon na
Oo.
lang naman nauso yung conversations. Pero dati kasi, laging may hook na. So naturally, may something
curious
na.
ka na kasi you're like, ikaw ba talaga ang third party?
Yes, ganon. Dati kasi laging may issue na ganon.
Oo, true. Okay, gets ko naman.
Nag-iba na ngayon. Times have changed. Thankfully, for the better.
Nowadays, since, like I said nga, you are, gusto ko as a podcaster, ingat na ingat ka. Thank you so much.
Sa mga sounds.
Oo, ingat na ingat tayo sa mga sounds. Okay, do you still have points now? Kasi narinig ko to recently. I think there was an interview. Alam mo yung mga round table sa Hollywood Reporter,
Yes.
mga ganyan. Some artistas kasi are offer only.
Ano
Alam mo-
sabihin nun?
So, ang ibig sabihin ng offer only, meaning, for example, Meryl Streep, she will never audition for a role. You only need to offer her the role, or that's it.
Meryl Streep kasi.
Ganon. So, at this point in your career, do you still audition for stuff? Pero kasi alam ko na yung sagot, offer only ka na lang eh.
Hindi!
Don't lie.
No, okay. So far, the past few things that I've done, in-offer. But, hindi ako offer only. I would be willing to audition.
Talaga?
Yes. In fact, there were several shows that na umere sa ABS, pre-pandemic, pandemic not so much na, but pre-pandemic, na I would always tell Tito Boy pa, I wish I was given the chance to audition for that. I'd always say
Really?
that, yeah. Pero then I guess it's company culture kahit papano na when they acquire a show or when they build a show, may pinipitch ng host.
Yeah. Parang they
So,
already
no
have
chance
a
for
cast
audition.
in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's usually
Similar
the case.
to the teleseries, I guess.
Yes.
But if I had the chance, I still would.
Really?
Yes, super. Gusto ko talaga.
Do you still get nervous when you have to go out in front of...
Always.
Really?
Now, malamig kamay ko.
Girl, kasi may aircon. Ikaw flyer ka.
Still.
Really?
Every time. Every single time. Whether interview na ako yung guest, interview na ako ang mag-i-interview or stage, whether corporate event with 50 people or Araneta Coliseum. Yes,
You get nervous. So how do you deal? Like, what are your like for me, I look crazy backstage because I'm doing like facial. I'm like, wow, like
For
that.
mga stretching.
Oo, mga stretching.
Kailangan ko gawin
like,
yun eh.
Or kasi you can tell when I host, I'm more animated than you. I'm very bibo on stage. So parang kailangan bago pa
Loose.
lalabas,
Yeah.
kailangan gumaganon-ganon na mo akong
Yeah.
baliw backstage.
Hindi
But for
naman,
you,
I'm sure.
how do you prepare, or like how do you get rid of the nerves?
I wish I could do like that. Feeling ko it's not too late. So, turuan mo na lang ako ng mga backstage preps mo.
Okay.
I don't have... Well, one is... Usually kasi it's a team, let's say a live show. So, we always do a prayer. So, that always helps calm the nerves. Kasi
Okay.
before everyone goes live, usually the most vocally religious one leads the prayer. So, papray ako. That helps with the nerves. But always, ano lang ako, shake it off. Wala akong pre-special ritual kineso. I just like, gaganyan yung shoulders ko just to shake off the nerves. But then,
Siguro kasi you're also so sanay na. Like, you do this day in, day out. You know what I mean? Like, and you've been doing it for a long time. It's not like...
long na nga. In fairness naman, long na.
So, I think it's like muscle memory na rin. Like, second nature.
Shucks. Thank you for thinking so, but I'm not sure. Siguro lang wala akong nakasanayan, but I'm willing to take on pre-chuchu rituals. if
Try
ever.
mo yung sa akin. Tapos
Ano
tignan
nga yung
natin
sa'yo? Patingin nga.
Tsaka
Turuan
na,
mo.
pag mamaya nakakahiya.
Hindi pang on cam.
Baka maging meme pa yun, girl, nakakahiya.
Yun na yung pang teaser ng episode. Maybe I
Realize.
should learn some rituals. I don't. Baka kasi hindi uso nung time namin. So, wala na akong na-imbibe na ritual.
Well,
My ritual is baduy reading, the material, ganun.
oo, hindi kasi, napansin ko
Making
sa'yo,
notes.
studious ka eh.
Yes.
Studious
Ever since talaga sa school, ako nerd. So, parang na-take on ko lang yun in this role. But I should have. I know I should have like rituals. Yung iba may mga hot tea, chuchu something pa.
Hindi ka
ganun.
nag-ano yung nagpa-paypakwa.
Wala
ganon.
namang ganon.
Wala.
Wala namang ganon. I should.
Okay.
But whenever, and I'm sure you also feel this, na parang, once you get your opening lines in, you start to like,
you
feel
warm up.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
You start to like, feel in the zone, comfortable,
Yeah.
in your comfort zone. Yeah.
For me, the first 5 minutes is the scariest. And then, okay na. From there.
Yeah.
Kaya ko na.
The first hello is always like, oh, grabe hassle. Yung
Yeah.
parang, ano ba to, sasagot pa sila ng magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Woo! Ba sila? Or para, oh my gosh.
Oh, hindi mo matansya yung
Oo,
crowd.
hindi,
Have you
hindi.
ever dealt with a crowd where parang hirap na hirap ka?
Hirap. Meron din. Lalo na pag like, kunyari
Paano?
mga corporate awards kineso.
Yes, mahirap
Kasi mahaba
yun.
ang awards.
Oo.
Hindi naman lahat parang party-party mode. So, tas ang daming names na babasahin parang
Yes.
graduation. Yun.
So, ano ginagawa mo para mabuhay sila?
Wala, maghahanap ka lang ng someone sa crowd na pwede mong parang i-eye to eye, ibantaran, hiritan, ganon. Tapos minsan pa, at least yung mga ganon, mahilig mag-playtime, may iba. Pero may iba serious
Nako,
talaga. So,
meron yung iba, sorry, we only do English only.
Ah,
May ganon.
wala pa akong ganon.
May ganong corporate events
Wala
na
pa akong
very...
ganon. Ang hirap na.
Oo, ang hirap. Or like, sorry, please no jokes. Walang ganon. So, tapos you're like, paano ko gagalingan kung hindi mo, alam mo yung ganon. Oo, nakaka-pressure siya.
Yeah.
Gets
yeah.
naman. Wait, so since this podcast is called Solo Flight Podcast.
I love the name, by the way.
Thank you so
Super
much.
love it.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you, have you ever like traveled alone? Have you ever done any solo trips?
Yes!
You
yes.
have?
Prior to getting married and having kids, I used to travel alone a lot. And then, syempre, nung nagka-kids na ako, na-stop yun. And then, last year, for my 40th birthday, when my husband asked me, what do you want to do? It's your 40th birthday, ganyan. I've never been the throw a party type of person.
Yeah.
So, ang sabi ko lang, I want to do a solo trip. Kasi nga, it's something that I haven't done for then 8-ish years.
How did he react?
Hindi.
Kasi
alam
meaning
niya.
wala siya.
Wala siya, yes.
Ay, ayoko nandun ka. How did he react?
Well, yun na yung afterthought niya na, oh my God, wala nga pala ako. But he knows kasi I'm such an introvert. Sobra ako introvert talaga. I enjoy being alone. I'm such an introvert. And he knows nga na I used to travel alone a lot before we got married.
Where'd you go and what did you do?
I told him na that's really how we want to celebrate my 40th. Yung parang para sa akin naman.
Give me
yes.
a moment.
Yes. So, nag-bucket list trip ako. I went to Bhutan. I highly recommend Bhutan.
Nasa bucket
trip.
list ko siya.
Yeah. I mean, fun din siya kung may friend or jowa. But it's amazing alone.
Kasi Bhutan very spiritual siya. Ganyan.
Yes.
Pero kasi, ang takot ko sa Bhutan, hindi ka ba natakot kasi as a female alone in a country where it's very the place you're going to is very secluded.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a rest back that you can call if there's an emergency.
Correct.
How'd you do it?
Naisip ko naman yun, although because nga it's my 40th, so parang dapat i-gift ko siya sa sarili ko.
Okay.
Kasi nga nagtatrabaho tayo, kumakayod tayo, so i-give ko sa sarili ko. But then my husband said, it's his gift to me. So sabi ko,
that's nice.
Salamat.
Yeah.
Kasi the real gift is really allowing me to fly alone. Kasi ibig sabihin, the kids will be with him.
Yeah.
But yes na din ako dun sa gift na...
Tama. Sana naman, girl. Binuhat mo naman ng 9 months each.
Yeah. So, in-accept ko naman gladly yung gift na yon. So, it was a more luxury type trip with a very trusted place. So, medyo wala akong
it was
worry
more
na
class. Okay.
Class siya.
Okay.
Hindi, kung backpacking baka, I would want to travel with a friend.
Yeah.
But because nga solo siya, for safety na din. And that's why I think kampante din my husband to allow me to go solo to a non-common place is because nga, mas pampered.
Yes.
Pampered princess.
Okay. Actually, mas bet ko yon kasi less scary.
Yeah, less scary.
May reputable establishments.
Yes.
Okay, gets ko naman.
Yes.
Actually, can I just mention, this is a common theme I'm noticing with a lot of my mom friends, that what they want for Mother's Day and their birthdays and just any occasion where they can celebrate, they want to be alone.
So true. So
is
is
this
this
a
just
trend?
introverts?
No, all.
Yeah. I get it.
Do you notice that also or no?
Not all my mom friends do that, but
yeah.
I mean, kasi I guess a mom's life, talagang everyday, lagi kang give.
Yeah,
so
totoo.
pag day namin, ang gusto lang namin, tulog,
Yes.
mapag-isa,
Or
ganon.
masahe. Just like
Masahe,
pamper me.
yes,
For a
ganon.
change. I
Yeah.
get it. Okay, so at least we can take note for any future joas I have there.
Yes.
Maghanda na kayo. I'm gonna want my solo time. Solo
Yes.
trip then.
But you know what? Solo trips are not for everyone because not everyone likes being alone.
Okay, I want to talk about that because I actually saw a meme recently where someone said, I don't know, do you think it's a very polarizing opinion to travel alone? Because for me, I love it so much. Like, and you're an introvert, so you like it too, and we're very different. I'm an extrovert. But what do you think the argument about not traveling alone is?
I'm not sure because I love traveling alone. I think for women particularly, it might be safety.
Yeah. Which is valid.
Super valid, lalo na with everything scary we see.
Yes.
That's why, and you know this as a solo traveler too, you really have to do like your research.
Yes.
Due diligence, at least for the places that you're gonna go. I don't know, I've never found it controversial kasi for me, bakit? Ba't hindi ako magta-travel alone?
Same. Or even just like simple things that takot sila kumain alone or whatever. I actually have a friend because I encourage a lot of my friends, like si Lorene. Dati, ayaw niya mag-travel alone. I'm like, Lo, you have to try it at least once in your life. Natry na niya. So, nag-gets naman niya. But I have other friends naman, and now they love it, but I think either one, it's like trying new food. Like, you have to try it until you realize if you like it or not, right? But I think there needs to be some sort of like mental preparation as well, especially if you've never had alone time in your life. Then there's that discomfort that you have to get used to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I think a lot of people also are just afraid to feel lonely, which I understand. Like I get, but I think there needs to be a shift in perspective on how to get the most of the experience.
Super. The biggest difference I would say of traveling alone versus traveling with people, whether it's friends, jowa, kapatid, parents, is when you travel alone, the littlest things you notice around you. Yung katabi mong mag-theorize, ano kaya pinagdadaanan niya, bakit ganyan yung suot niya or yung mukha niya. Or like, the food that you're gonna eat, mas na-enjoy mo kasi kinakain mo siya alone without having to engage in conversation with another person. So that's why I said na traveling alone is not for everyone. Kasi if you're the type of person na lagi mong gustong may kausap, yes, you can get kausap, you can meet someone there, but you have to be comfortable being alone kasi for you to enjoy traveling alone.
I think it's a very helpful skill in your life.
I love being alone.
Yes. I really don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I think there's actually merits to being alone, and there are benefits to having alone time, because I think in your quiet moments is when you're able to form your own opinions that aren't swayed by other people's opinions.
Yeah. So now more than ever, and I'm so glad you're saying this, because nga you're much younger than me, and those who watch you and follow you are the new generation, much younger than us. Kasi when, I think nabuti mo naman, when we were growing up, there was no social media.
Yes.
And now that everyone has their phones, from the moment you wake up, it's things going in your head. In, lahat in. Whether it's messages, social media, work, school, whatever, lahat in.
We're overstimulated.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so important to have times na walang in so that the out can come out, meaning what's in your head versus just what you hear around you. And you'll never get to hear what you're thinking if you don't have quiet time, or which usually comes in alone time.
I love that. So would you then encourage, because now you're a mom, kaya mong to allow your kids to do solo flights?
I mean, when they're mature enough, yes.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. And malamang masisipangkas ako and I'd wanna go also, but
don't be that mom! Don't be that person. Or alam mo yung
enjoy it.
Alam mo yung meron akong tita dati na pag nagta-travel alone yung anak niya, or nung pinadorm niya abroad, nasa dorm yung anak niya, kumuha siya ng condo or ng hotel, tapos malapit lang, pero hinahayaan niya, pero nandun pa rin siya. And in my head, I'm like, you're not allowing your kid to get the full experience. Kasi alam niya, isang inconvenience, tatawag lang. Ma, yung labada. Ma, walang groceries. Alam mo yung ganon?
Yeah. No, I won't be that naman. I won't. I promise.
Okay.
Accountability statement siya. Yeah, I think I will, because I also enjoy it so much. And then my firstborn is an introvert like me. So nakikita ko na, she's an introvert but she's very responsible. So nakikita ko na she would love to do that when she grows up.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, because you've also, I think, in your career, because I also have done a little bit of research, because that's wisdom you've impart on me. Sabi ko, naalala ko one time, nag-host ako ng event, tapos nandun tayo backstage, and then you're like, I was asking you for tips, and you said, research really helps. So medyo nag-research din tayo. So, about this ex,
okay lang, open tayo dyan.
Okay. But, like, in your career, you've had I think good fortune in that you've never really had anything crazy scandalous. In the sense na parang, na-miss mo rin kasi yung cancel culture.
Yes.
Alam mo yun, like, naunahan mo eh.
Yes.
But, since, like, we're looking back, and I want to ask advice also as my ate, and since you're married now and happily married with 2 kids, like, I find, since I'm still in the figuring it out phase, what was dating like for you back then? Be honest.
So, wala akong crazy scandalous. There was only one crazy scandalous thing. And I think the reason why...
But it wasn't even that crazy.
Medyo crazy siya. Wala lang social media nun.
Baka hindi na ako mabot sa Google. Baka Google page 5 na yun. Di ako... Kwento mo na lang. Okay.
It was pre-social media days. So, I guess, ang manifestation ng scandal, girl, tabloid.
Oo, tabloid pa nun.
Dahil wala namang, wala pang internet doon. But if it were, I would probably have been canceled for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Ano ba nangyari?
So, this is many, many years ago. Those who are my generation might know this. But when I was a housemate in Pinoy Big Brother, so this was 2006.
Okay.
So, I was a housemate before I became a host. I went into the house. I was in a relationship.
Okay.
And then when I was in the house, I got close with the housemate.
Oh.
So, the reason I guess it became a national scandal was because my relationship, my ex at the time, my ex now, but the boyfriend at the time, was also a public personality from a public family. So parang ganun lang. But now all's well that ends well. Pero nung time na yun talaga lupa lamunin mo ako moments.
Yeah, but okay,
Yeah.
fine. I get it. I think in the moment everything seems a lot more intense than it actually is.
Yes. But if my social, kung may TikTok noon, or may mga tas i-replay, tapos yung sinuslow, patay
Wag ganon.
talaga.
Wag na. Guys, wag na.
Hirap.
Naka-move on na tayo. But what was dating like back then for you?
So, I was deathly afraid of dating. Never ako, I don't know if I'd say never ako nag-first date.
What? Girl, how is that even possible? Paano naging kayo?
Pag lumang tao ka, posible. Kasi, most of my relationships, except for my husband na, I met through groups. So, it was never really a first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like when you met them, parang barkada hang, that's how you met?
Yes, or like, kapatid ng kabarkada ko or something. Or, for example,
So paano nagiging kayo?
gosh, this is, kailangan ko, yung sa baul.
Ungkatin mo, girl.
2 kasi were school era. So, technically, don't date nun kasi magkikita kayo daily. Tapos, the one after that, colleague at work.
Wait,
so
is this
hindi ko siya naging boyfriend.
Akala ko naging kayo.
Hindi.
Okay. Wait, who's
Yes.
this one? Just go like that. Who's this one we're talking about
Kilala
now?
mo ba?
Well, I don't know. You have to say. Not the school one. Don't
Yeah,
say it
not
out
the
loud.
school one. So, when I was working, my boyfriend then, happily married now as well with 3 kids. Or 4 na ba sila? Ang dami, happy
Okay.
family.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
And then, after that was a non-showbiz guy.
Okay.
And then yun na, my husband na.
Okay. Wait, I had in my mind, I was so sure naging kayo.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
I don't know why. Okay.
No.
Mali pala
It
yung...
was just a scandal.
Oo.
And then wala, nag-separate ways na kami after.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, paano nga
Na-happy na
nagiging...
din now.
Paano nagiging kayo? Kasi group hang, tapos pagising mo kayo na, ano yun? Impossible naman. Tapos introvert ka pa, so hindi ka machika. Ikaw don't lie.
Okay, kasi nga, because we were working together, we'd see each other on set eh. So technically, hindi date. And then parang nagkakilanlan na kami when he introduced me to his family and I introduced him to my family. So parang visit sa house ng mom niya, parang ganyan. Hindi siya date like out talaga. And then my
Wait.
Yeah,
So, I'm trying to understand here. Barkada kayo, friends kayo, tapos biglang the next, parang after a few weeks,
parang
meet the family.
magkaka-developan on set. Parang ganon.
Ay, delikado.
And then
Nangyari
meet
na
the
rin sa
family.
akin yun. Okay. Ay, wag na. Baka maungkat. Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah, parang because you see
Nagkaka-developan.
each other at work all the time, nagkaka-developan, you get to hang in a work setting. And then after that, parang I met the family na, parang ganon. And then mas,
Nagiging serious agad.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then parang mas, I guess, intimate. You're not out in public.
Yeah.
Kasi very private person din siya and his family.
Oo.
And then, doon naman sa boyfriend ko that was non-showbiz, he owned a bar. And so, doon kami lagi magka-hangout.
Okay.
So, doon na din yung getting to know. So, parang never
Wait,
talaga
I remember this.
nagka-dating.
Ito ba yung kunento mo sa akin na umiiyak ka sa car?
Yes!
Okay!
Tapos binabalikan ko yung mga places we went to. Yeah.
Okay.
That breakup. Yeah.
So, paano ka naman? How
So,
do you
ang
deal
baduy,
with
di ba,
heartbreak?
walang dating.
Ang baduy nga.
Oo.
Alam mo, wag na.
Maybe I was scared of dating talaga.
Bakit?
So baka din, hindi ko alam kung uso pa ba yun ngayon, but if anyone is scared of dating, baka way yun na parang hang-hang na mapupunta sa if there's something then.
Gets.
Yeah.
Gets naman.
Saka sumusunod yung mga movie kapag medyo you're sure that you like each other. I mean, in my case, at that time.
So, kapag ganun, were you ever the one who brought up na parang, I like you na boyfriend na kita? Kasi walang date-date, so hindi malinaw
Traditional ligaw. It was traditional ligaw even with my husband.
So, niligawan, pupunta sa bahay mo.
Yes.
Kumakanta ka?
Hindi naman. Harana levels, hindi naman. Wala. Never ko na-experience yung harana.
Okay.
But yeah, it's probably my husband pa na naka-first date ko.
Okay.
Yun lang. Kasi we were introduced by a common tita and then we met up.
Okay.
Ganon. And then naging mas often na yung meetup na yun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you ever a selosa girlfriend?
Parang a bit lang. Not crazy.
What
Are you
what
selosa?
does... No, super not.
Oh
And
my
I think that actually causes more problems. Because they're like, do you care? And I'm like, I care. I'm not dramatic about it. Like, whatever.
Oo. Me not so much then.
Okay, so what's like your selosa level?
I don't have crazy stories.
No?
Ano lang, mga cold treatment, tampo-tampo.
Tampo
baduy.
lang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're not selosa, wala at all. Or may cold treatment din.
No. Well, I'm very kasi direct na
Yeah.
tao. So if
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like what you did. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say like that.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah.
Ayoko
Yeah.
kasi yung may pahulaan.
Yeah.
Like,
Tama.
time's money.
Oo.
I need to be working. I have an event to host. I have,
Tama,
bills to
tama,
pay. So,
tama.
ayusin na natin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's how I do it.
No, I'm not selosa.
How about
No.
now that you're married?
Oh, none at all.
Parang you're more kampante because you're
Yes.
married?
And I guess the more mature I got, when you're more secure
Yes.
with yourself, not even relationship-wise I think it naturally
Right?
nawawala yung
It leaves
any
your
selos.
body.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly it, is that when you're kampante kasi in yourself, it has nothing to do with the person. Na parang for me, like, even if he wakes up, let's say, whatever, if we're married, and then he wakes up one day, he's like, ayoko na, I'm like, great, okay, pack up. Alam mo yun? Pack up, let's move on. Yung parang, di kailangan ng pilitan na please love me, yung gano'n.
Pero ginawa ko din naman yun sa life ko dati, mga please love me. Yeah.
Okay, explain. Kwento sesh. What
Madaming
what was it
times.
like?
Wait, the first boyfriend, I did that.
Actually, wait,
Second
nagawa ko
boyfriend.
rin yun, high school.
Yeah,
Yung
high
please
school.
love.
Yeah.
Okay, like for me, example. One time, di ako proud. One time, umiiyak ako outside this condo para lumabas siya. Tapos, ayoko umalis. Like, kinakato ko din na doorbell ko, ayaw lumabas. Sabi ko, hindi ako aalis dito.
Yeah.
Kumbaga ako, I'm the man who can't be moved.
Wow! Gano'ng katagal ka naghintay?
Ang tagal hanggang kinabukasan. Hindi niya ako nilabas.
Oh my gosh. Nandun ba siya?
Ay, actually, di ko alam. Imaginein mo kung wala. Nakakahiya. Di ko rin talaga sure.
Yeah.
Pero, I guess we'll never know.
So, I had 4 relationships before getting married. Lahat, may ganun akong instance.
Talaga?
Ngayon ko lang na-realize, yeah.
So, paano?
Pero in
As in,
different scenarios.
as
Yung
in
isa
tipo-
kapag breakup na, yung isa kapag away lang, yung isa kapag...
meron tayong common friend na naalala ko, naghahabulan sila sa kalsada. May gano'n, may sigawan, like parang eksena sa movie. Did you ever get to that point na parang umi-eksena in public?
In public, no. I think only because I work in a public, Pero
Ay,
kung
sila
private
rin.
person, talaga?
Sila pake. Anyway,
Oh, really?
ikaw
Later,
mas
you tell
private
me.
ka. I'll tell you.
Yeah, no, because nga I'm a very private person as a person.
Yes.
Yeah. My craziest mahalin mo ako moment was nakipag-break sa akin. So, heartbroken ako.
Okay.
And then, I flew all the way to New York para sundan siya.
Ang layo nun
Ang
na.
layo.
And ang mahal.
Ang layo.
Wait, tapos,
Ang layo.
hindi niya alam na darating ka.
Alam niya. Ito
Okay.
na yung plot twist.
Okay.
Alam niya.
O tapos?
Nung nalaman niya, syempre I'd make up a reason kung bakit ako pupunta doon. It's not like parang
Oo.
It's not like to follow you. Syempre, hindi yung sabi ko.
Kunwari,
Sabi ko lang
ano sabi mo?
Wala, parang
May
it's summer,
project?
bakasyon. Hindi, wala.
Ah.
Parang it was really my destination of choice. Eme-eme.
Okay.
Girl, may pinadalang ka. Woo! Papunta ka pala. Can you bring this?
Kunwari, padala na rin na sneakers or something.
Hindi lang sneakers.
Ano, corned beef.
Ito na yung clincher.
Ano?
Sa sobrang laki ng bagay na pinadala niya, nasa odd-sized luggage pa.
Ang lala. Oy, wag ganon. Abusado.
So, yung technically, ang odd-sized luggage, if you've never gotten, separate
Oo. Separate check-in area yon.
separate check-in and separate conveyor belt
Yes.
pag i-claim mo na.
At saka wait, mag-isa ka buhat-buhat mo yun.
With my own
Ganon mo siya kamahal.
Woo!
Bubuhatin ko to.
Kala ko.
Gano'n kalaki bicycle? Girl. Okay.
Talagang pag naalala ko yung Bianca na yun, gusto sabihin, tanga-tanga mo.
Wait, umabot din naman ako sa ganon. So,
Yun.
okay lang.
So, okay lang ba talaga?
Now that, looking back, okay
Looking
na.
back,
Lesson
okay
learned.
na. Lesson learned, exactly.
Oo.
So, syempre, yun ang, talagang acts of service.
Oo.
Talagang flew halfway across the world. Tapos, syempre, you wish na magkakabalikan kayo in a cinematic moment in such a great city. Tapos, syempre, hindi. Wala.
So wait, so inabot mo yung bike. Pag abot mo ng bike, anyari?
Friendly naman. Kasi syempre,
Kasi
nagpadala
pakul.
ng bike.
Kunwari, pakul ka.
At saka padala ng bike. So,
Okay.
friendly din siya. Ako naman, pakul ako tama. Kasi nga, hindi naman siya yung pakay ko.
Kunwari, kahit siya talaga.
Oo.
Okay.
Tapos, yun, parang I think we had a talk or something and then nung alam kong wala na talaga.
Wala na.
Yun na, I met up with other friends. from
Binutasan mo
there.
na yung tire ng bike.
Hindi naman.
Ayaw mo sa akin, ah.
Grabe, no? Grabe yung mga, mahalin mo ako. Tapos
Eh,
grabe, tapos ma-realize mo after, kung ayaw pala talaga, ayaw talaga.
Totoo.
Hmm.
Speaking of padala moment, kasi nangyari din sa
Bike
akin
din
yan.
ba?
Hindi, ito yung malala. Meron akong friend na nung nalaman niyang lilipad yung guy to see me for the mahalin mo ako moment. Like, gusto niya akong
Wait, si Guy yung
Si Guy.
lilipad to you
Si
para
Guy yung
sa
lilipad.
mahalin mo ako
Oo.
moment.
Okay,
Ikaw
so
yung
si Guy.
pinapursue.
Oo. So, dumaan siya kay
Mm.
sabi niya, please help me, ganyan. So, sabi ni you're coming here? Padala na rin na extra maleta. So, hindi lang shoes or nagpadala siya ng extra check-in. So, kumbaga, kung dalawa yung check-in ni Guy, may third maleta para kay to bring to not even for me.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
nothing for me, just for the friend. Sabi niya, this is my bridging fee. You wanna date my friend? Okay, bring my stuff. Binitbit ni Guy.
Amazing.
Sabi ko, nung nalaman ko, kasi ako, hindi ko sure, hindi ko alam na darating siya. Sabi ko, ikaw talaga yung nagpadala ng maleta, may kailangan rin ako. Ikaw ang nakinabang.
Oh my God.
Ang galing mo rin.
How did that talk go?
Actually,
Okay naman.
hindi, naging kami naman ulit.
Ay, nagbunga! Happy for him.
Oo, effective naman in the end. Pero sabi ko, di sana nakapagpadala din ako. Di ba kung sinabihan niyo ako?
So, pwede din pala gumana ang mahalin mo ako moment.
Oh, actually marami akong ganun. Not on my end. Parang effective siya sa akin.
Mm.
Pero ngayon hindi na. Disclaimer.
Baka kasi may nakikinig.
Baka may nakikinig, wag ka nang bumal. Joke lang.
Could
Wag
it
mo
be
na
a
i-try.
difference of girls and guys? No naman.
It might be, but I think it's also, like, parang for me, lesson learned na I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. So,
Tama naman.
parang for me, ayoko na ng mga second chances. You had your chance, you blew it, let's move on. Ganun, pack up na.
Yeah.
So, I wanna ask you about, since na-touch na natin yung love life, let's bring it back to life lessons naman, or like life experiences. I wanna ask do you ever get like imposter syndrome, or do you have limiting beliefs ever in any scenario that you're in?
Limiting beliefs, thankfully not so much, only because
You're like, ang galing ko na eh.
hindi. Grabe, no, opposite of that.
Okay.
Ang attitude ko towards a lot of things, thankfully at an early age, is growth mindset talaga.
I
Ever
love that.
since.
Yes. Okay.
So, in terms of limiting beliefs, pag pumasok siya sa isip ko, matatrump siya agad ng, hindi, kung hindi ko pa siya kaya now, kaya kong matutunan. Parang ganon.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that is so true.
Because pwede naman talaga.
Totoo.
You can work at it. Bihira lang naman yung pag trinay mo, magaling ka kaagad. You know, the only way you'll get better is to keep doing it. So, limiting beliefs, not so much. But imposter syndrome, a lot of times talaga.
So, how do you deal with it? Because I think you're at a place in your career where like you've had really big accomplishments na rin. I mean, how do you deal with imposter syndrome, or what advice can you give to the listeners who sometimes feel like, do I even deserve to be in this position? Or like, am I the right person? Am I in a position of authority to be telling people, paano ba to? Right? Like, should I be actually telling you how to live your life? Right?
Yeah. I always still feel it in the sense na parang, kaya ko ba to? Parang kasi diba there are a lot of questions that can come out of imposter syndrome. Sa akin, it's more of kaya ko ba to? Siguro it goes back to yung growth mindset thing na I know that I can learn. But 2 things that I can share that have helped me sa imposter syndrome. One is to prepare.
Okay.
I think kasi when you come prepared, even if you make a blunder or you make a mistake, at least alam mo na lahat ng nasa control mo na kaya mong gawin to be prepared for that moment, ginawa mo.
Okay.
Wala kang parang regrets na parang, oh, I should have read this more or studied this more or whatever. So I think preparation equips you and gives you that confidence kahit papaano to face whatever daunting challenge that is. And then second is the belief na hindi naman yon ibibigay sa'yo kung hindi sila naniniwalang kaya mo. So a lot of times it's like, kaya ko nga ba to?
Yeah.
Parang, oh my gosh, ako ba talaga yung dapat gagawa nito?
Yeah.
But, and this is also advice that I just got then from other people, na yun nga, oo nga naman, they won't choose you to do a certain task if they didn't believe that you could do it. So sometimes, we don't believe in ourselves that much, but the power of other people believing in you helps.
I like that. I actually never thought of it that way. But I think, yun nga, there's only so much preparation. I think it's a balance of preparation but also self-talk. And I think it's a lot easier for you to handle because you've had a lot more practice. It's kind of like a muscle that you work out.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you overcome imposter syndrome overnight. Right?
Or ever.
Or actually, I don't know if ever. Like, I think there are definitely pinch me moments, or like, is this even possible? Like, honestly, like, I know it sounds annoying now, but like, I was so scared to start the podcast because I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know how to set up a mic.
By the way, ang ganda ng setup ni Nicole na all her, one-woman production.
Thank you. But yun nga, it's intimidating in the beginning, but like you said, right, I think it's the growth mindset. Okay, for me, I like to take it one step at a time. So I'm like, rather than launching a podcast, that's the task, I'm like, break it down into smaller tasks. So how to set up a mic, step 1. Okay, so once nakaya ko na yun, okay, let's move on to step 2. How to set up a camera. So parang ganon.
Yeah.
And then that way it doesn't feel as scary or intimidating.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Tsaka as it sounds, a lot of times na kapag feeling ko hindi kaya ko, what has worked for me is fake it till you make it. Sometimes you really have to fake it na.
Okay, give me an example of the last time you had to fake it. You don't have to give specific examples of like names, but when was the last time you felt that you had to fake it?
Every live show na big finals, I am overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's overwhelming.
And nervous. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina when I step on stage to get through that opening spiels.
Yeah.
Yun, I fake it till I make it.
Fake it na lang.
Tapos
like,
parang pag naraos mo na yon, okay, parang kaya ko na. Next, like, yung you break it down opening body muna, and then pag tapos na yon, okay, saka mo ulit focusin yung next mong kailangan sabihin. So, a lot of times, yeah, on stage, for sure.
Very, Rihanna of you.
Bakit? Ano si...
That's what she said.
Ah.
Just fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I mean, it may sound yun nga, not ideal, but a lot of times, parang in your head, you'll say, kaya ko to, and fake it until, oy, nagawa mo na pala. Tapos na pala. Yun na yun.
Yun nga. Sometimes it's just the anticipation leading up to it.
Yes.
And then, pag okay na, okay, pwede ka nang huminga.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to take this time to give you your flowers in the sense that I want to say that we've been exposed to a lot of people in this industry, right? And I think it's natural that a lot of people have a lot of opinions about all of us because we're in the public eye. It's, we can't avoid it. But from everyone that I've been exposed to and that I've met in this industry, I feel like you are one of the very few who have a very strong sense of self. No, and it's true. And I want to ask, where do you think that comes from? Do you think that came from your upbringing, or like how your parents like treated you or spoke to you? Like what do you think gave you that strong sense of self? Because nowadays I think that's very rare to find, especially when you are so heavily perceived by everyone else, not just being in the public eye, but anyone who has social media.
Yeah.
You're opening yourself up to public perception.
Right.
But you have a very strong sense of self, where I notice you don't allow the outside noise to get to you. And I admire that. And I want to learn from that. So where do you think it comes from?
Gosh, it has never been articulated to me that way. Thank you that you think so. I think that, kasi parang now, knowing what I know, having interviewed then so many people for Paano Ba To, which is also self-help, self-improvement, I didn't really aim to have a strong sense of self. Wala naman akong idea ng ganun dati. Ngayon na lang siya parang nagiging thing to have a strong sense of self. But I was lucky that when I was starting in the industry, and again, big role dito yung wala pang social media, meaning wala pang outside noise. Your only feedback was literally your family, your friends, your boss.
Yeah.
Na live sa yung sasabihin yung comment nila about
to your
you.
face.
To your face.
Yeah.
It's not parang scrolled through the feed, some random comments about your appearance or whatever. When I started, parang clear sa akin yung inside voice ko of what I wanted to do, which was try out hosting, and what I didn't want to do, which was act, sing, dance, do all these other things. So when I got the support to just do that, what I wanted to do, and focus on the types of shows that I wanted to do, na ang tawag nga nila masyadong AB, masyadong pang matalino, parang ganon.
Yeah. Wait, explain to our audience what that means, because I feel like our conversation is leaning towards more showbiz jargon, which we understand.
Yes.
But more like for the average listener.
Yes.
Ano ibig sabihin ng kapag sinasabi ng producer, masyadong AB?
Okay, so in the social segments, iba na yung wording now, but it's like A, B, C, D, E, meaning C and D are the more masa audience, and the E is the, in economic terms, parang poorest of the poor. A, B yung mas upper class, upper middle class, ganyan.
Okay.
So, I was always told when I was starting, masyado yung AB. And
the connotation of that means
hindi ako pang masa, hindi ako pang TV. I'll never make it in the mainstream. Which I always question kasi sabi ko, hindi naman ako pa-social.
Hindi ka rin elitista.
Hindi ako elitista. Matatas ako mag-Tagalog.
Tama.
But siguro perception, which you can't fight.
Yes.
It's what people see. So when I wanted to focus on hosting, I got the support from Tito Boy, meaning he didn't force me to do any other thing. Yun pa lang, it was already parang
it's very rare.
Inside, a vote of confidence na, so tama pala yung decision ko.
Yeah.
So the more I stood by my inner voice, or what my gut was telling me I should do in terms of my career, and the more it was supported by the people around me, the one who manages me, parang the more dun pala nabibuild yung tama pala yung sinasabi ng gut ko sa akin. So I guess that's where it comes from, so that in time, it's so clear to me what I say no to. And now ko nalalaman yung wisdom nung what defines you more than what you say yes to is really what you say no to. So
like
from
that.
the very, very start, down until, kasi when you're starting in this industry, technically, nobody ka pa naman talaga. But at the start nga, because I got that support, even down to like brands that would get me to endorse, I wouldn't say yes if it's not truly aligned to who I am. And one of the most common examples is when I was starting, lagi akong lalapitan ng whitening company
Yeah.
of any beauty brand to endorse them. And
Yeah.
because obviously I am a proud Morena, I do not believe in it. Even if it's worth XXX amount, I would say no. But that decision at that time empowered me to say no also to other collaborations, partnerships na hindi naman talaga fully aligned with me. And though at the time it seems like kakahinayang naman,
Yeah.
when you look back in the long run, it actually builds your integrity na parang even if hindi mo pinagsisigawan sa tao na ito yung values mo, ito yung paniniwalaan mo, because of your body of work, it tells it for you.
Kumbaga, the work
ganon.
speaks for itself.
Parang ganyan. Or the choices speak for itself.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe that na parang one, listening to that voice and then feeling supported empowered me na parang baka tama yung gut feeling ko.
Yeah.
And meaning, mas i-follow ko siya. And then, yun nga, making seemingly nakakahinayang choices for now but are actually better in the long run.
Kumbaga, don't be afraid to say no.
Yes, for sure.
Because I think that's a great reminder to our audience, because culturally, in the Philippines, parang there's this stigma, I think, and I'm sure you've experienced this too, na ang kapal ng mukha mo mag-no, in-offer. Parang you should be grateful that people are offering this to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's that mentality.
Always. And I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Kasi I know I speak from a place of privilege when I say I was able to say no to some things, because I grew up that my family provided for me. I didn't have to be a breadwinner. I'm sure this would totally change if I had to be the one providing for my family. However, I believe that meron ka pa rin kahit papanong choice. Kasi even when you say no to the things na hindi ka sure if yes ba to or no, when you say no to that thing, it opens up your frequency to the thing you're supposed to say yes to.
Yeah. I get it, but I think, like, just to play devil's advocate, and I agree with everything you're saying, and I love that. I just feel like I have had situations in my life where I haven't always had that support, and there are times, if I'm being honest, where I even if I want to say no, I can't, because I have bills to pay,
Yes,
or
exactly.
I need to eat. Like, I need to put food on the table, you know? So I think there are times where it's not as easy to follow that, but I think maybe finding your boundaries within the yeses that you feel obligated to take.
Yes.
Like, for example, like, okay, I don't necessarily feel like I 100%, align with this, but girl, I need to keep the electricity on, or I need to, let's say if she's a single mom, I need to feed my child, or my child needs to go to school, maybe if you accept the job, be like, okay, but I can only work till 3 p.m. because I need to pick up my kid from school. Or the boundary is, okay, but if it's a role that an actress needs to take, she's like, okay, I'll take this role. I don't necessarily, connect with the character, but no nudity. Like, you could still establish boundaries within the yeses.
That's why I qualified it na parang I'm very lucky that I actually had a choice. Kasi totoo naman yung kapag I think ito sa Catherine Bernardo movie line na parang ang choice pang mayaman lang, parang ganon. But it speaks to a lot na parang a lot of times you really have no choice. But tama yung sinabi mo na parang sometimes you really have to say yes even if hindi siya full-hearted yes. But as long as it doesn't cross your non-negotiables, yun ang importante. So, 2 things that I want to share about opportunities and non-negotiables is things I learned from Anthony Pangilinan, one of the people I consider like a mentor to me. One is, in looking at opportunities, you have to be purposefully opportunistic. hindi
What does
lang
that
yung
mean?
opportunista na parang lahat ng opportunities grab ko.
Okay.
You see which of the opportunities na nandyan. Kasi usually there are several opportunities. Alin dun yung mas medyo aligned dun sa nakikita mong purpose mo. That's what he said. And then another thing about the non-negotiables is sometimes ang hirap natin kausap na parang ang dami nating gusto that go our way. But sabi niya, just think of your non-negotiables. Okay, so kunyari ganyan, sabi no nudity or hanggang 3 p.m. lang ako, whatever it is, non-negotiables in values, in boundaries, time, whatever. Sabi niya, if you figure out your non-negotiables, dapat everything else, open ka na to negotiating, open ka na to adjusting, open ka na to compromising. And I was like, nga naman. Sabi niya, minsan we make it complicated.
Can you give an example? Like how? Like, if, for example, your non-negotiable is, help me out, give me an example. Like, what's a non-negotiable?
For me now, as a mom, my non-negotiable is whenever there is an important school activity.
Okay,
of
so
the
you want to be
kids.
present.
Yes.
Okay.
At doctor's appointment that's important, I want to be present. So I would sometimes regretfully say no to work.
Okay.
Pag ganon.
So then, on the counterpoint that you made, what then would you then be like, okay, nag-no na ako dito, so...
Ay, girl, mag-work ako 5 days straight.
Okay, ganon.
Kailangan
Okay.
bumawi dun sa
May bawi.
bagay na ninoan mo.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Para may balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Or try. You'll try to balance it out.
I love that. Thank you. I think that's a great place to end at because we also have another episode on paano ba to, and I don't wanna, because I'm sure her non-negotiable, she also wants to get home to her kids at a decent hour. So we'll wrap this episode here. Bianca, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
also.
guesting
Again,
on-
congratulations on the pod. I hope you
Thank
have many,
you.
many, many more episodes to come.
Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave a rating and review. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions or guests that you would like to see. You can also DM me at Solo Flight Podcast on Instagram, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!